We're adding more layers to this idea of managing your time, controlling your day, mastering your curriculum for your life, your schedule, having foresight. All of that's having foresight. And part of that is managing your own state. So Tony Robbins has this quote, and I'm probably gonna butcher it, but I really believe it. And he says, successful people don't necessarily have the most resources, but they have the most resourcefulness. And I totally agree with that, because one of the biggest resources that we all have immediate access to is our emotional state. And the state is what allows you to basically control your output, right? Being in a good state allows you to be much more productive because you're happier and more charged and energetic. Being in a good state allows you to be more creative and make better decisions. And you can control your state by a few things. The first is just your environment. So, you know, a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, there's this whole idea of working at home being the ultimate goal for how you want to run your business or your life. And there's nothing wrong with working at home. I like it, and I certainly do it occasionally. But at the same time, sometimes we have to understand that the state we have at home might not be conducive to doing the work that we need to do. If you are a parent and you have kids, they're gonna have things that they need of you throughout the day. If you are an employee and you have a job, when you're at work, there are going to be things that are required of you that aren't part of your personal projects. And so we have to be aware that the only place or the only way we can do our best work is by finding the place where we work best. So I encourage you to find a place that makes you feel the most creative, so that you know that at least when you're in that zone, your brain flips on the switch. I'm in work mode here. And this could be your favorite coffee shop, it could be a co-working space, it could be a special spot in your house that has a setup, and maybe you have your special desk there, and I like to have some little incense around me. It makes me feel like I'm energized and it keeps me going. But you want to set up your area because that creates a state, and it's almost like creating a routine. It's a habit. When you enter into that place, you feel like, now I'm in my creative zone. The juices start flowing. Even if it's nothing more than just having a simple, quiet place in the corner of your favorite office to sit into. So controlling your state by environment is very important. And as you become more aware of that, you'll be able to figure out where you need to be the most productive, and you'll see how quickly you'll achieve the things that you set out for yourself. But state isn't just about the environment, it's also about the way that you carry yourself and the way that you hold yourself. This might sound kind of stupid, but when I do work at home, a lot of times I'll put on full work attire, like overdo it. I'll put on like slacks, and I'll wear like a button-up shirt, and I'll put a tie on. Sometimes I'll even put a jacket on. And I will sit down at my kitchen table as if it were my office, and I will begin to work. Because there's no way that I will allow myself to slouch over, which will tire me out. There's no way that I'll allow myself to just start watching Netflix. If I'm in a suit, it's impossible. I'll feel so wasteful and so ridiculous that I'll snap myself back into it, because the suit I'm wearing is a constant reminder, because it's on my skin, that I should be working right now. And that is state. And state is also emotional state. You know, managing that. If you're upset, it's very hard to look at your calendar and work through the challenges that you're gonna encounter multiple times throughout your day. And that's where things like meditation come in. And this isn't a program on meditation, but if you're watching this, you're smart, you're ambitious, I'm sure you're aware of this. There's lots of apps that you can use. There's Headspace and Calm and all these different ways you can learn to meditate. Well, the idea though is having some space of calm for you that allows you to come back to baseline. And for me, I use this in various ways. One way is when transitioning from one activity to the next. So let's say I go from a meeting where I'm talking with people and interacting with people and sharing my ideas, perhaps negotiating, sometimes arguing. It's highly charged. And I'll go from the meeting situation to a situation where I need to be writing, whether it's copy or whether I'm writing something for my next book. Those are two different states I need to be in, and I might need to center myself again so I can focus in the right way. If you go from one activity to the next without stopping in between to take a breath, your work won't be as good. So I'll pull back for a minute. Even before we shot this video, and before we shot this series of videos, I went downstairs, I meditated for a bit, just closed my eyes. It's not anything woo-woo, there are no like light beams shooting from my head, I'm not floating. I'm just clearing my mind, I'm meditating, and I'm getting to a place where, okay, I'm clear on my intent, I know what's gonna happen, and I'm ready to go up there and do it. And the question you might ask yourself as you're meditating or as you're just visualizing or just being silent is, who do I want to be in this next activity? What do I want to accomplish in this next activity? These are basic questions, but they're primers for you. And all these things, all these tools that we add to your arsenal are stepping stones in the process to having more foresight on your day. You're pulling back, you're looking at what's important, you're focusing, you're prioritizing, and you're not letting little random events pull you astray. When you do get pulled astray, as we all do, you're moving back to center, right? So that means getting in a place that gives you the right resources internally. That means dressing a certain way, brush your teeth in the morning if you're working at home, comb your hair, put on a suit. That manages your state, becoming calm, focusing, bringing it back in, and all that stuff allows you to access what you're gonna need, the resourcefulness, the energy, the power, the creativity that you're gonna need to move throughout your day and to create a really important change, which is focus. And that's how you do it.